Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be evaluating a trigonometric expression in terms of another one. So let's get started. We have tangent 14 degrees equals x, and we're supposed to find tangent 18 degrees in terms of x. Now this time I wrote the degree symbol. I know some people gave me grief last time because I didn't write it and they thought it was in radians, but I also write my disclaimer: all angles are in degrees unless otherwise stated. Okay, cool. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to take this 14 degrees and then turn it into 18 degrees by using some trigonometric manipulations. All right, so let me go ahead and erase this first. Clean it up. All right, so what are we going to do first? Well, here's the idea. I'm going to start with 14 degrees, and we've done a similar problem before. I'm going to link it in the description so you can get to see that. We're going to start with 14 degrees and we're going to try to get something that we can express in terms of 18 degrees. How do we do that? Usually for these kinds of problems we use, double angle formula. In the other problem we had used similar approach. So if you double 14, for example, think about it, right? 14 times 2 equals 28. Okay, so 14 times 2 is equal to 28. Again, they are in degrees unless otherwise stated, okay? So, well, 28 is not the same as 18 and they're not really related. Well, their sum is 46, but we're just missing 45. So we have to use a special angle, obviously. So we're not going to get that by doubling. What about we multiply by 4? 14 times 4 is equal to 56, and the difference between 56 and 18 is going to be 38, right? Well, 38 is not a very special angle either, so that doesn't help either. But here's one thing that will help you. And I'm going to first come up with the formula, and then later on I'm going to tell you why that helps. Okay? So here's the idea. I'd like to find a formula for the triple angle. I'll tell you in a little bit why I do need that. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, you probably already know the tangent 2 alpha formula, but let me just go ahead and write it anyway. So tangent 2 alpha can basically be expressed from the sum formula. This comes again. Can be written as 2 tangent alpha divided by 1 minus tangent squared alpha. So this is called the double angle formula for tangent. Now, what I'd like to do is I want to come up with the triple angle formula, which can be written as tangent of 3 alpha. Alpha being any angle, of course. As long as we're not making this undefined, we're good. Now, how do you express tangent 3 alpha? First of all, think about if you can use 2 alpha. Well, 2 alpha can be used because 2 alpha plus alpha is equal to 3 alpha. So why don't we just use the sum formula for tangent? Okay. So I can express 3 alpha as 2 alpha plus alpha, and now use the formula. Now, what is the sum formula? Let's go ahead and write that down here as well. And the formula for tangent alpha plus beta, that can basically be written as tangent alpha plus tangent beta divided by 1 minus tangent alpha tangent beta. Again, this can be proven by using the sum formula for sine and cosine, and those can be proven by drawing a rectangle and so on and so forth. That's a long story. But anyways, that's the formula, and you should know these identities if you're dealing with trigonometry, obviously. So what I'd like to do here is just use that sum formula. So it's going to look like the following then. Tangent 2 alpha plus tangent alpha divided by 1 minus tangent 2 alpha times tangent alpha. Great. Now I was able to express tangent 3 alpha, but this could still be simplified a little bit. Why? Because we do have a formula for tangent 2 alpha. So from here, I can basically just go ahead and substitute that here and here. Let's go ahead and do that and see what happens, because our goal is to reach the formula for the triple angle. So if I replace tangent 2 alpha with 2 tan alpha divided by 1 minus tan squared alpha, and of course I'm going to be adding tan alpha to it, and then all over we're going to multiply 1 minus tangent 2 alpha again, 2 tan alpha divided by 1 minus tan squared, and that is multiplied by tan alpha. Okay, so when we simplify this, we're going to be getting the expression. So imagine you're making a common denominator or multiplying the top and the bottom by 1 minus tan squared, which is kind of like a better idea. Let me go ahead and show how that works. instead of making a common denominator, because it's pretty much the same thing, you know, but it's just cleaner. You don't have to deal with the denominators. So if you go ahead and multiply the top and the bottom by 1 minus tan squared alpha and distribute that, the 1 minus tan squared here is going to cancel out with this one, so on and so forth. So you're going to be getting something like this. Tan 3 alpha is going to equal, from here I'm getting 2 tan alpha because the denominator cancels out, plus tan alpha is just multiplied by 1 minus tan squared. Let's go ahead and distribute that. Tan alpha minus tan cubed alpha all over. The bottom is going to be, when you distribute 1 times that, it's going to give you 1 minus tan squared alpha minus, when you multiply these, again, these two are going to cancel out. You're going to end up with minus 2 tan squared alpha. Okay? And now this should give you the formula for tan 3 alpha, which can be written as 3 tan alpha minus tan cubed alpha divided by 1 minus 3 tan squared alpha. Okay, so that's my triple angle formula, and I'm going to use this to solve this problem. Let me explain how we're going to be using this formula. Now remember that we had tangent 14 equaling x, right? And our goal is to get to 18 degrees. Of course, they are in degrees, even though I'm not writing them, because I already stated that at the beginning, right? So how do you relate 14 and 18? Well, here's the answer. If you triple 14 degrees, you're going to be getting 42 degrees. So let's go ahead and do that. And then when we do it, I'm going to tell you why we're doing it. And then hopefully you can stay tuned and see the whole thing. Okay, so tangent 42. In this case, my alpha is going to be 14 degrees. So when I triple it, it's going to be 42 degrees. So I can directly actually use the formula here, right? My formula will apply to this situation if I take alpha to be 14 degrees. Okay, great. So tangent 42 degrees is going to equal then 3 times tan 14 minus tan cubed 14 divided by 1 minus 3 tan squared 14. And I know that tan 14 is equal to x, so I can just go ahead and replace tan 14 with x and get a nicer expression for tan 42. And then after this, I'm going to explain how 42 and 18 are related. Maybe you've already seen that. So it's going to be 3x minus x cubed divided by 1 minus 3x squared. Isn't that such a nice expression with the x cubed and the 3? So it kind of resembles the binomial theorem with n equals 3. Think about x minus 1 quantity cubed. It kind of looks like that, right? But just separated. Anyways, so my goal, again, let's make sure we are focusing on the answer here. We're trying to find tan 18. Now, how are 42 and 18 related? Well, their sum is 60 degrees, and 60 is a special angle. Awesome. So then what we can do here is the following. I can basically write, since my goal is to find tan 18 in terms of x, that's my goal, right? I can write 18 as, again, these are in degrees. I keep saying this so you don't give me a hard time, all right, in the comments. If you want to give me a hard time, that's fine too. I mean, you can write all you want. That's fine. I appreciate, like I said earlier, I appreciate all kinds of feedback, positive and negative. Okay, so 60 minus 42, right? And what we can do here is pretty much like very similar to the sum formula, just with a minor difference here. If you just change this to a minus sign, and then you'll get the difference formula for tangent, and you can just use that. So tangent 60 minus 42 is going to give me the answer. So that's going to look like the following then. Tangent 60 minus tangent 42 divided by 1 plus, remember the signs are switched, tan 60 times tan 42. Again, that's going to give me the value of tangent 18, and that's what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and simplify this a little bit by replacing tan 60 with root 3. As you know, that is the value of tan 60. And then tan 42, I'm going to be using this expression here to replace that. So it's going to look like 3x minus x cubed divided by 1 minus 3x squared. And of course, I need to do something similar at the bottom. 1 plus root 3 multiplied by 3x minus x cubed divided by 1 minus 3x squared. Great. Now let's go ahead and simplify this, and that's going to give us our answer in terms of x. So tangent 18 can be written as, again, I can multiply the top and the bottom by 1 minus 3x squared so that I can get rid of the fractions. That's probably the easiest way to do it. You know, let's just go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna like distribute everything onto everything, just take a lump sum here. So root 3 multiplied by that, it's gonna give me something like this, right? So let's go ahead and clean it up a little bit. 1 minus 3x squared, and then the second term multiplied by 1 minus 3x squared here and here. The 1 minus 3x squared is going to cancel out, and that's going to leave us with 3x minus x cubed, but we're going to make sure that it's inside parentheses. And later on, we're going to simplify that. Okay, this is going to be my denominator. When we distribute the 1 over this, here, 1 times that is going to give me 1 minus 3x squared, and then when I distribute the fraction over this, these two are going to cancel out, but we're going to have a root 3 here, and then multiplied by 3x minus x cubed. Great. Let's go ahead and simplify this expression, and we're going to get our answer. So tangent 18 is going to equal. Now, how do you simplify this expression? We'll probably need to take a couple more steps here, right? And that's going to look like the following. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute first. Root 3 minus 3 root 3x squared minus 3x plus x cubed. Again, there are no like terms, so nothing simplifies here. And then the bottom one is going to be 1 minus 3x squared plus 3 root 3x minus root 3x cubed. And let me go ahead and write this in standard form so that we can just, you know, come up with a nice answer. So I'm going to write the x cubed first, minus 3 root 3x squared minus 3x plus root 3. And then we're going to divide it by the bottom one, which can be written as negative root 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3 root 3x plus 1. And again, our goal was to find tangent 18 in terms of x when tangent 14 degrees was given as x. And we did find the answer. And this brings us to the end of this video. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Tomorrow, I'll see you with another video. Until then, be safe, take care, and bye-bye.